For the first time in my life, feel like I don't know what the path forward is. Hi. I'm out here in nature. The main reason why I'm here is because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just turned 30. I feel this rumbling in my gut and in my spirit to move toward things that fulfill me, things that give me purpose, things that ignite me creatively, that give back in real tangible ways to real people. And yet I'm stuck in this life that I've built for the last 30 years, wondering when things will shift, wondering what my next moves are, wondering where I even want to be, who I want to be, what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 to 5 years. Now more than ever, I have no 5-year plan. I don't even have a year plan. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but this is just gonna be a video journal entry about how life feels right now. The way that everything feels unclear, uncertain, extremely confusing. The way that it's easy to not know what direction to go in. I'm just gonna tell y'all some backstory on me. I wanna share some of my lore because I don't know if I really shared this in a way that was cohesive. I know I've made, travel videos, and if you've been following me over the last year and a half, you've seen my journeys last summer through Europe, the way that I left New York. But I just want to give y'all a perspective on where I'm at in the hopes that, one, you learn more about my lore, and also two, that maybe there's someone out there that feels the same way, that's done the same things, that's going through this weird in-between phase, and maybe we can connect. Maybe we can learn from one another. Maybe we can grow from one another. A little over a year ago, I decided to leave my life in New York City completely behind to chase a dream of working and living abroad for a summer, and I did it. I lived in Spain, Portugal, London, Amsterdam. I even went to Joshua Tree in California when I came back to the States. Got to explore San Francisco, got to go to Chicago and really explore for the first time. Got to hang out with friends in LA, and then I settled back down in my parents' house for the foreseeable future, not knowing what was to come. But I told myself when I left that I would figure out a plan when I came back, because I wanted the clarity of the trip to guide me, or at least to help guide me to what my next step would be. Well, I'm sitting here a year later, many lessons learned, many things accomplished, a lot of growth, a lot more of my journey added. But in some ways, the clarity that I've been seeking has not come yet. And I think part of that is also due to the global situation that we find ourselves in, and even the national situation that I find myself in, being in the US. And seemingly every day, finding myself at a new crossroads with legislation happening and decisions being made and actions being done. For the first time in my life, feel like I don't know what the path forward is. Like, I know the things that I like, I know the hobbies that I love and my interests and my passions. I know goals, big goals that I have that I want to accomplish. And I'm working on those right now along the way. But in my greater life, in my greater journey of time to move back out on my own and live somewhere, I genuinely don't know where that place is. I love New York City to death, and it will always have a piece of my heart. But deep in my soul right now, I know that that is not the place for me to be living right now. Similarly, the DMV, love the DMV, but I just don't know if I would want to get a place here, nor do I know if I would want to get a place in this country. So then what does my life look like? I'm single, I have no partner, I have friends all around the country, all around the globe. I have nothing tying me down to this country besides my family, which is big enough, and my friends here. And really my job, because although my job is fully remote, I would have to apply to move abroad, and I think there would be these restrictions, and I would have to figure out whether or not that would be something that I could do. But even if that was something that I wanted to do, I don't know where I want to go. Thinking about everything going on globally, where is even safe? Where can I build community? Where should I go as a single person? I have to think about language barrier. I have to think about economy. I have to think about time zone for work. I have to think about cost of living. For once in my life, I finally have a savings, and I'm finally in a place financially where moving actually is feasible for me and would honestly be easier than ever before. But I genuinely do not know which direction to head in. I don't know where to go. I don't know what the right decision is, and I find myself in this cycle of trying to make right decisions, and I'm realizing that there are no right ones, but I also am scared of making super wrong ones, and I think that's the problem. How can I meet myself somewhere in the middle or on the right side if there are no right answers, but I do know that there are some wrong ones? I'm trying to learn from lessons that I've encountered over the last 5 years. I'm trying to learn from when I moved to Texas, and that wasn't really that smart of a move. I'm trying to learn from when I moved back to New York and I had to move apartments 3 times, and that was also not a financially smart move. I'm trying to learn from living well above my means in New York and, you know, not being able to save and how that made me feel. And it's hard because I just don't know which way is up. And I guess I'm here to tell you to keep asking for clarity, and also to be okay with where you're at. I'm not okay with this. This is very uncomfortable for me, but at the same time, I'm leaning into the discomfort, and I'm really, really seeking clarity and asking for clarity, hoping that it will come, and trying to release the control to force it to come on my own timeline. And that's the hardest part. It's hard to be 30, to feel like you're starting over in so many ways, but to also feel like you're coming into yourself in so many ways more than ever, coming into your purpose in so many ways more than ever, understanding your priorities, shifting your priorities in different ways. I just wish I knew what that next step place was for me. I wish I knew where to build home. I think a lot of this is also reflected in my birth chart. Pluto is transiting through my first house of personhood, of self. I feel myself transforming in a number of ways when it comes to how I show up in the world, how people perceive me, and just how I perceive myself, to be quite honest. And simultaneously, I have a lot of transits, outer planets transiting through my 4th house of home. So I do feel this, I feel a push to define home. I feel a push to find places, to find options, to start thinking, to start planning. But it's so hard. How do you start planning your future when you don't even know what the ground under your feet right now looks like? When you don't even know which places will be safe in 3 to 5 to 6 to 9 months, which places will make sense for you in that time. I think I'm just overwhelmed by decision paralysis, more so than I ever have been. And it's so strange. I guess all I can say to you, my friend, is that we're in this together. And I'm taking you with me. I'm showing you my journey. I'm stripping myself back to hopefully reveal something real about the plight of human existence, about aging, about getting older, about starting over, about not knowing and thinking you know and realizing you'll never know, about starting again and again and again, about redefining your priorities, redefining your life in many ways, shifting perspective, finding silver linings, being there to witness when the sun comes out. Once I get more clarity, I'll let y'all know. Once I decide how to navigate through this little rut and stagnancy that my life is currently, I'll take you along on the ride with me. But I guess I just want anyone that's going through it out there to know that there's more of us here and we'll find our way. And you can't keep beating yourself up about decisions because then you'll never make any. Anyone that has any wisdom, anyone that's been through this before, please feel free in the comments to drop some insights. Here's to rediscovering ourselves, redefining our lives, choosing new paths, being scared, not knowing, and ultimately just doing our best with the information that we have. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. And we'll figure this shit out together. Yeah. So let's do it.